Steps in business registration. One, BPI, BPRCP registration. It is necessary to register your business with the Department of Trade and Industry, BPI, and the Bureau of Trade Regulation and Consumer Protection, BPRC, because you gain the exclusive right to establish and use your business name. It also offers protection from those who take advantage of your name. These government agencies simply flatters about the application in the use of names. Two, barangay clearance. The local government code requires all local businesses to register at barangay level. This is easy to do and a minimal fee is required. Three, registration with the local government. Permits and license required to ensure that standards are met and that business comply with the specific requirements of the business working. For BIR registration, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, BIR will furnish your business with its own tax identification number and the authority to print receipts, invoice, etc. Five, SSS registration, Social Security System offers your employees many benefits. It also benefits you as employer in case of employees disability or death. Six, DOLE registration. Registering with the Department of Labor and Employment. DOLE is required for business with five or more workers. PhilHealth securing membership in the government healthcare benefits system. Eight, local electric utility firms for companies located in a Meralco franchise area. Manila Electric, Meralco securing electric services connection for business in Meralco franchise area. Nine, local water utilities administration. LWUA for firms located outside Metro Manila, securing water services, Manila Water Company and or Manila Water Company for firms located in Metro Manila. 10. Philippine Long Distance Telephones or PLDT, Bayantel, Digital Smart and Broad Lines, securing telephone services connection. 11. Registration will be offers offices. You may be required to register with other agencies of government depending on your type of business. Some samples are the Bureau of Food and Drug, Garment and Textile Board, Department of Tourism, Philippine National Police. So, business permit and license. Requirements for business permit. Location clearance prior to business permit. New applicants and change of business address only. Lease contract between the lessor and leased. Attach mayor's permit, registration of the building owner, landlord as our real estate lessor. It's not lease. Contract between the lease and the sublease with conformity of the owner of the building administration. If own transfer, certificate of title, PCT, or tax declaration, Xerox copy, new applicants and change of business address only. Three, business name registration with the Department of Trade and Industry. For sole proprietorship, new applicants only. For article of incorporation, approved by SEC, new applicants only. Barangay clearance, public liability insurance. Financial statement of assets and liabilities. DIR income, tax return for renewal only. Resident certificate, AND for single proprietorship, CNC1 for corporation. 9. Other special permits, depending on the type of business. Vocational clearance. Clearance prior to building permit 2 should apply. All lot owners who intend to construct a structure in their respective properties, and all tenants of buildings, structures who intend to do some renovations, what are their requirements? Completely filled up application form for building permit, 5 sets of architectural plans signed and sealed. Walang 3 barangay clearance, 4 transfer certificate title PCT, 5 latest payment of real property tax, 6 computation of floor area ratio FAR for construction of structures where density is limited by a maximum floor area. A ratio, maximum floor area ratio. Notarized authorization for the person following up the application. Occasional clearance prior business permit. Who should apply? All business owners who intend to open a business. 2. All business owners that have existing business permit but intend to transfer to a new location. Where are the requirements? Completely filled up and notarized application form for business permit, barangay clearance, DTI set, registration, occupancy permit, owner, transfer certificate of title, DCT, condominium certificate of title, CCT, if location is a unit in a building, condominium, and latest payment of real property tax, if lease contract. If no renovation was done in the structure, unauthorized affidavit executed by the owner of the building structure attesting to the fact that no major renovation was really done, and notarized authorization for the person following up the application. Your online business for your online application for business name, DM, is subject to the terms and conditions set forth under the revised implementing rules and regulations of the Public Act 3883 as amended, otherwise known as the business name law. Accordingly, it is your responsibility to ensure that you, that you, your proposed business name is not a term or word or group of words that cannot activities or norms that are unlawful, immoral, scandalous, or contrary to priority. Not a name and not a name, word, or group of words, term, or expression used to designate or distinguish or suggest the quality of any class of goods, articles, merchandise, products, or services. Not a trade name, trademark, or business name registered by any government agencies authorized to register names or trademarks. Not inimical to the security of the state. Not composed of a purely generic word or group of words. Drugstore, healthcare clinic. 6. Not a name of which is restricted by law or regulation, or that which cannot be legally appropriated. Not officially used by the government in its non-property functions, investigation, services, PNP, security agency. Not a name or abbreviation of any nation, intergovernmental or international organization, unless unauthorized by competent authority of the nation, their governmental or international organization. Not subject of an order by any administrative agencies, bodies, or regular courts, prohibiting the registration thereof. Not a name of other persons, and not deceptive, misleading, or one that misrepresents the nature of the business. Sole proprietorship definition. Any business owned and operated by an individual. Formation. No formalities or legal documentation may be implied from conduct or actions. Governing documents non-required nature of ownership, fully owned by a single individual. Liability, sole proprietor, personally liable to all debts and obligations. Taxation, not a taxable entity, or income loss passes to sole proprietor. Management, sole proprietor has complete management control. Transfer ownership of transfer of ownership interest. Sole proprietorship not transferable. Property and products are transferable. Withdrawal of owner. Terminates sole proprietorship. Partnership. Two or more persons operating a business for a profit. Written or oral agreement or maybe implied from conduct or actions. Non-required notes have agreement specifying rights, duties, and obligations. For contribution, partner receives proportionate share of profit losses and partnership property. Partners are jointly and severally liable for all partnership obligation and contract in court. Partnership not taxable entity allocations of income and loss allowed within partnership before passing. All partners have equal rights in partnerships management and conduct. Limited right of transfer subject to consent for all partners. Partner or death, withdrawal may terminate partnership. Corporation, legis- legislatively created and regulated governance, ownership, and financial structure. Dealing of articles of incorporation with Secretary of State and payment of these articles of incorporation create corporation bylaws prescribe its operation. Residual claim on corporate equity and right to vote for directors and essential governance. Shareholders liability limited to extent of capital contribution limited liability. Corporation tax and separate entity and dividends capital gains also taxed global taxation managed by board of directors elected by shareholders board we delegate authority to appointed officers freely transferable through formal NYSC and private equity capital markets. Corporation has unlimited life. So special purpose entities, limited partnership, general partner, manager with unlimited liability and limited partner, investors with limited liability, limited liability corporation, LLC, hybrid with corporate liability protections, partnership, fit tax treatment, subchapter S corporation, identical to C corporation, etc. Elect income process passed through for proprietorship, ownership, owner, capitalization depends on the needs of the business, life, or term of existence, dependent on the owner, management structure, managed by the sole proprietor, profit distribution, the sole owner, reporting requirements to municipal, mayor, BDI, BIR, SS, HDM, usual income, taxation, sole proprietorship pays individual income tax, liability to third party, unlimited liability of sole proprietor, partnership, two or more owners depends on the needs of the business, dependent on the partners, managed by one or more partners. The partners based on agreement are based on the municipal mayor set, the IRSSS, pag-ibig or HDMF. A partner pays individual income tax or his share on partnership profit. Some partnerships are exempted from income tax. Others are taxed like corporations. A limited liability for general partners, limited liability for limited partners. So corporation, five or more owners depends on the type of business as prescribed by law. 50 years and renewable, managed by the board of directors to stockholders based on declaration of the board of directors. Municipal mayor, DTI, SEC, PIRSSS, pag-ibig or HTML, PhilHealth, pays corporate income tax, stockholders pay dividends received, limited liability of stockholders, advantage, easy to form less government requirements, plus decision making only 1%. Besides flexibility of operations, head to small business, sole partnership. Mhm. Easy to form, subject to laws, less government requirements, suited to practice of a profession. Some are exempted from costs. Flexibility of operation. That's partnership. The disadvantage of sole partnership, limited source of capital, likely be dependent on the owner, and management that may be dependent on the capacity of the owner. And so, it's what the disadvantage of partnership, a limited source of partner for the depths of partnership, limited term of existence, limited capital. For corporation, capacity as legal practically unlimited limited liability of stockholders for corporate debts, wider source capital, separate disadvantage, activities limited by the articles of incorporation and corporate bylaws, possibility of abuse of power officers subject to more governmental requirements, partnership, co-ownership, and corporation basis. Relation, juridical personality, purpose, relation, current market systems, number of incorporators, commencement of juridical personality, disposal of transferability, the rest of the third persons, death, so resolution, liability. So partnership, by contract or mere, or or contract or by mere agreement of the parties. A separate and distinct juridical personality from that of each partner, realization of profits, limitation, minimum of two persons from the moment of execution of contract of partnerships. Partner may not dispose of his individual interest unless agreed upon by the other partners. In the absence of stipulation or contrary, partner may find partnership. Each partner is agent of partnership. So, except as provided by Art 1825, as provided by Art, persons who are not partners as to each other are not partners as to third persons. That of partners as solution partnership may be dissolved at any time by the will of any or all of the partners. Note if an unlawful partnership is dissolved by juridical decree, the profit shall be confiscated in favor of the state. In case of general partners, is separate and personality. Property shall also be liable the assets of the partnership is not sufficient to satisfy the obligation of persons. So for the corporation, by law, are separate and distinct from the personality from that of each corporate code. Depends on the articles and OI. A corporation shall have perpetual existence unless its articles of corporation provides otherwise. You are a minimum of one person from the date of issuance of the certificate of incorporation. Stockholder has a right to transfer shares without prior consent of other stockholders. Management is vested with the BOD. That of stockholder does not dissolve the corporation can only be dissolved with consent states. GR by the obligation to third persons limited assets of the corporation. As a partner owns himself solidarity liable. Partnerships the joint venture basis on coverage contemplates the undertaking of general convenience business and furniture joint venture ordinarily limited to a single transaction and not intended to pursue continuous business, while then required to operate under a firm name as no firm name transfer of property. The properties becomes the property of the business entity and hence of all partners. The property use remains undivided property of its contributor. Power, partner acting in pursuance of the current business lines not only himself as principal, as their agent as well also partnership and partners. None of the co-venturers can join venture of his co-venturers. Firm name and liabilities. Partner requires personality active. Following requisites required by law. So sect registration is not required before a partnership or speaker personality. A joint venture has no legal personality. Differentiating a general partnership from limited partnership. How constituted? General partnership may be constituted in any form by contract or conduct of the parties. Limited partnership formed only by compliance with the statutory requirements. Registration requirement, no need of SEC registration. Limited partnership requires SEC registration. Composition, all general partners. Limited partnership, one or more general partners and one or more limited partners. Liability. All personally liable for partnership obligations, even beyond their contributions. The limited partner is liable on up to the extent of contribution not here. That is limited partnership. Contribution, cash property or services of a combination of payment. The one's pensions. Limited partnerships. Limited partner can only contribute money or property but not services. If limited partner contributes both cash and services or property and services, becomes a general partner, a general limited partner. If he is limit, if he is a limited partner and he contributes only services, he becomes a general partner. So management of the company. All partners have an equal right about management of money not agreed upon. Um, with the partnership. No participation in the management of business without silent orderman, partner, and general partnership. Since by or against the partnership must sue in the name of the partnership. General partner can be a proper party to the proceedings. Must sue in the name of partnership. Limited partner not a proper part proceedings. Only a general partner can be a proper party to the proceedings. Assignment of one's interest. Sign requires interest of the partners but needs consent the other partners to make it partner. Limited partners' interest is fully assignable. The limited partner is empowered by the sign substitute. Limited partner becomes such if not all partners must give their consent. In both cases, there must be an amendment of the charging of interest and redemption. Partners' interests. Interest or partner may be charged. Partners' interest may be something not only to separate property from the more general partners, but also the partnership property. Interest of a limited partner becomes subject to attachment or execution. Partners' interest may be written only with the separate property, one of more general partners, but not partnership property. Retirement law, civil interdiction, sign, or insolvency of the fund. Change in the relation of partners cause for dissolution whether judicial or extrajudicial. Extrajudicial. So, solution whether judicial or extrajudicial. If partner is general partner, it dissolves the partnership. If partner is limited partner, partnerships so except if there is no limited partner left. Notice of dissolution. Notice of dissolutions. Third, counsel. If registered. Notice of dissolutions. Exercises. Is required small cancellation. Uncertainty. Winding up. Same rules, same rules. Priority and asset distribution of those owing to the creditors other than partners. Those owing partners other than for capital and profits. This owing partners respect on capital. Those owing to partners respect on profits. Proper priority and distribution of assets. Those due to creditors, including limited partners. Those to limited partners in respect of their share. Profits compensation. Those due to limited partners for return of capital measure. Those due to general partner other than capital profits. Those due to general partner in respect profits. Those due to general partner for return of capital measure. Um, Offer versus advertisement. Pepsi Cola case. Advertisement is an invitation to make an offer, not a binding contract. Offer is a definite proposal that, when accepted, creates a binding agreement. Pepsi case, consumers believe a Pepsi promotion was a promise, but the court ruled it was not a legal offer, just an ad. Five types of marketing communications. Marcom, advertising, print and broadcast ads, packaging, outdoor packaging inserts, motion pictures, sales promotions, contest games, sweepstakes, lotteries, premiums and gifts, sampling, fairs and trade shows, public relations, press kits, speeches, seminars, annual reports, personal selling, sales presentation, sales meeting, incentive program samples, direct marketing, catalogs mailings, telemarketing, electronic shopping, and for food and variable costs, the total of costs of goods, materials, ingredients, production time, packaging, promotion, shipping, affiliate, divided by the total of products. Cost of goods is 2,000, packaging is 100, total of product is 500. So 2,000 plus 100 equals 2,100, and 2,100 divided by 500, which is the total of products, equals 4.2. 4.2 is the variable cost. So for the fixed cost, the total of utilities, rental, salary divided by the total product. For the labor, 200, utilities 200, and 200 plus 200 equals 400, and divide the total of products, 200. So 200 divided by 500 equals 0.8 is the fixed cost. So for the profit margin, add the variable cost and fixed cost, then add the profit margin. The profit margin is 100%. So for the variable cost, 4.2 plus for the fixed cost is 0.8 equals 5. Then the 5 plus profit margin, 100%, equals 10. Then the buffer cost. For food, there is a buffer cost, which is 30%. The subtotal of profit margin plus buffer costs. So 10 plus 30%, which is the buffer cost, equals 13%. See, the subtotal is 13%. Then for the tax, the subtotal of buffer cost plus tax 12%. So 13 plus 12% equals 14.6. So for the total cost is 14.86. And the selling price round up the total cost will be 15. So the selling price is 15. Plus round up the total cost. How to compute non-food? So number one is variable cost. The total of cost of goods, materials, ingredients, production time, packaging, promotion, shipping, affiliate divided by the total of products. So materials is 2,000, packaging is 2,000, affiliate is 4,000. The total of products is 100. So 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 4,000 equals 8,000. And 8,000 divided by 100, which is the total product, equals 80. 80 is the variable cost. Number two is fixed cost. The total of utilities, water, electricity, rental, salary, labor, divided by the total of products. So for the labor is 2,000 and total products is 100. So 2,000 divided by 100 equals 20. So the fixed cost is 20. Number three, profit margin, 30%. Add the variable cost and fixed cost, then add the given profit margin. So the variable cost is 80. So 80 plus 20, the fixed cost is 20. So equals 100. And 100 plus 30%, which is the profit margin, equals 130. So the subtotal of profit margin is 130. So for number four, tax is 12%. So that's the subtotal of profit margin plus tax is 12%. So for the subtotal, 100 plus 10%, 12% equals 145.6. And so for number five, total cost, the total cost is 145.6. So for number six, selling price, round up to total cost. So 146 or 150 is the selling price. So for the ROI, return of investment, for example, if the total of investment is 100,000, you will divide it to the subtotal of profit margin. And the total is need to hit the goal to reach your return of investment.